I hope everyone's been enjoying Goa. The sun, the sand, and the waves is something I quite enjoy being here, and some good food. But the most important part about why we are here is just about to begin.
For taking your seats. I hope you're all excited. Even I'm pretty excited. Let's all get ready and enjoy this wedding ceremony that we're here for today. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, I deeply apologize. I'm a perfectionist. And we haven't had time to do a sound check. Okay. All our singers, let's return to where they're supposed to be. Okay? It's a part of it. It could be. Can we all quickly check our mics are on?
Hello, hello.
Hello.
Check.
Check.
See if your mic is on. Okay, Elvis, Yuki's mic. No, don't worry, just check it. Don't worry. I apologize so profusely.
Good act you have thought of.
Can we talk for 10 more minutes?
It's not bad, huh? If only I had some jokes that I could put. What did one ocean say to another? Nothing, they just waved. Is it good? No?
Dandelion joke.
Do you know any jokes?
What did one kela say to the other kela?
What did one kela say to the other kela?
Are you a kela?
Are you a kela? Oh no. This is really sad. So I have to tell you, I'm one of those bridegrooms that almost followed the traditions of my mother. This is a good way to segue into the story of how my mother got married. Or rather, how she almost didn't.
3 days I stayed.
Given that this was early 1940s, they didn't have cell phones back then. India was just, newly independent. And my mother, in her infinite wisdom, decided to go for a hairdress and a beauty parlor. Am I blocking the sunlight for you? I'm good enough to do that. At that time, the two priests of both the sides of the family were supposed to meet and then decide a mahorat, right, which is an auspicious time to get married. Of course, ritually, historically, the two priests never agree. In this case, they did, and they selected one mahorat. So all families of all, both the sides convened. Everyone was ready. The guests are all seated. The bridegroom was about to do a musical number, just like we are about to do right now. And guess what? No one could find the bride.
She was a runaway bride.
She would have been a runaway bride had she come to the venue and then, run away after having gotten scared.
After having seen the husband.
After having seen her husband, possibly for the first time. But that's not the case. She was still in the beauty parlor during her mahorat. So the two priests, being calm and docile men that they were, they immediately got into fist fight as to what is the next auspicious mahorat. And so the audience were entertained, as I hope they won't be this time, because there was a fisticuffs at that time. The two parties had to hold them back.
We're ready to fight over here.
You're ready to fight?
We're ready to fight, in case needed. We're here.
Okay. At that point of time, a second mahorat suddenly emerged from the sea. Miss Debjani Ganguly was nowhere to be found. In the deep reaches of the morning, at 11:30 p.m., my mother finally arrived for her marriage, only to find that there's nobody there. And for those who know her and who know my parents, it's pretty much the template for the next 36 years of their marriage.
The first guy who should have left is her husband.
The first guy who should have left is the husband. Well,
Who was not the husband at that point of time.
who was not real?
He had the choice. He had the
Such is life, life is such. Elvis, where are we?
Yeah.
We're good? Okay, Yuki's mic?
Check.
Check. How about this side?
Check.
Is it on?
Check, check.
Okay. Sucharita's mic? Pretty much. I'm the showrunner, the
Check,
director,
check.
chief
Check.
cook and bottle washer. Yeah, it's good?
No, this one is.
Send it to Elvis.
But so you were saying.
I've run out of stories.
Tell the dandelion joke.
I don't know the dandelion joke. Has anyone got a mic that works? It appears that Mr. Bean has graced the building. We have someone who does amazing Mr. Bean impersonations, who I've been following since college. Mr. Johann Salazar. May you please grace the stage while we still have daylight, of which we are losing much. Elvis, good? Check.
I have a working mic already.
Mr. Bean is about to take attendance. I surrender the floor.
Who is he?
I think I'll do a slightly different routine this time.
By all means.
Because the other one's a little impolite for gentle audiences such as yourselves. But I'll tell you a true story of how people in Goa find and give directions. And this is something that actually happened one of these days. So we were on our way from Wati's, where we're staying, to Coco Beach, and we asked the gentleman, could you point us in the direction of Rita's, which is a popular restaurant there?
Hello.
So he ventured to show us the way. And before he began to give directions, he asked us, where are you all from? So three of us in chorus said, oh, we're from Bombay. So he thought, oh, Mumbai. So I was like, okay. So next he asked us, so where do you want to go to? So we told him that we wanted to go to Rita's, and he said, oh, I can give you the directions, it's very easy. You go straight down the road, and you'll see 3 roads. The first road, the second road, and the third road. And then he went on to tell us, don't take the first road, unless you want to go to the church, because that goes to the church. Don't take the third road. Take the second road. That goes to Coco's. Right? And it reminded me of another joke that I heard when I was in school. And it was about a guy asking for directions. So it wasn't about a guy asking for directions. I think Ronit is creeping away. Don't look, don't look. Anyway, so the joke goes something like this. There was a moron walking home, and he was looking a bit suspicious, and there was recently a robbery in the locality. So the police were on the prowl, and they go up to him and they say, you look really suspicious. We know you're the one who did it. So he says, no, it wasn't me. Please let me go. I can promise you I didn't do it. I can prove that I didn't do it. So the police said, okay, tell us. Prove to us that you didn't do it. So he said, see, if you go straight down this road, you'll see 3 bus stops. Don't take the first bus stop. Don't take the second bus stop. Take the third bus stop. At the third bus stop, there are 3 buses that come. Don't take the first bus. Don't take the second bus. Take the third bus. The third bus stop stops at 3 stops. Don't get off at the first stop. Don't get off at the second stop. Get off at the third stop. At the third stop, there are 3 houses. Don't go to the first house. Don't go to the second house. Go to the third house. In the third house lives my mother, and I swear on my mother that I didn't do anything. All right, I think we're more or less ready to proceed now.
And those were also directions on how to find Johan's ex-girlfriends.
But what happened to Rita's?
versus I'm gonna sing it for them. Okay, let's hit go. Hit the track, Dustin.
Posy of flowers by his side. He got daisies and trees, roses swaying the breeze back. Has anyone seen the bride?
The baker has baked 100 cakes, but there's a rumor we might need more. The chefs compete with the meats and the sweets, and the caterers keeping score.
The little kids are up to their tricks, the big ones practicing for the takes. Boys see the kiss while the girls are occupied. But has anyone seen the bride?
Band assembled on the big dance floor. They've been practicing since 2008.
We've had a big long wait for people to relate to their greatness. The straight hate they gave to their fans who've been saying their songs germinate, compensate for the late checkmate. They need a license to shout, magistrate help me out. Alexander the Great orchestrated these notes. A shout out to our host, cause we're all getting restless with endless show inside. But even we haven't seen the bride.
Bridegroom walks in, the man of the hour clocks in. Ahead is a lifetime of boxing, but he doesn't look like he's got an option. Ooh, he is prepared, yes, he doesn't look scared. The words in his hand, vows, he has declared are true. His love is true, all that's left is to say, I do. We had a merry January, but time is now running out. The flower man waits by his flower stand. The wedding hall is booked out. The chefs and baker, the movers and shakers, and the guests are standing by. But have you seen the bride? Have you seen the bride? Have you seen the bride?
Assim sim.
A man that I love. Years have gone by as I've grown out of a friendship that I love, that you bring to me in the presence of friends and family. I walk down the aisle, my face doesn't cease to smile. We'll place gold on each other's fingers, saying I do, and swear to be true, with feelings in my heart, not easy to describe, a blush I cannot hide. I walk down in faith, pray God be our guide, through thick and through thin. We we always be by each other's side.
At least this time the bride can be found. Thank you.
Beautiful stuff right there. And thank you for making our presence kind of unnecessary here. Some more photos. For those of you who don't remember us from last night,
I'm Shannon.
and I'm Gaurav. On behalf of Natasha and Ronit, we'd like you to be here. We welcome you all on this beautiful day in Goa. Those of you who came from different parts of India, those of you who flew in from overseas, and those of you who just drove 5 minutes up the road.
We're here to celebrate two of the most talented, honest, and loving people we know. You could see more than just people singing here and sharing a joy. The talent runs through the family and with their friends, and it just beams off you guys. Natasha and Ronit have a backstory which is a little like the song and dance and poetry and all of it intertwined, and it's scripts for a very fun and quirky movie.
Not an Academy Award quality one maybe, but a really, really sweet movie. It's got its share of romance, music, drama, spirituality, and a dash of suspense.
It all started on the most unlikely sets imaginable. Jesus Christ Superstar, the story of Jesus' betrayal by Judas, threw out an interesting twist. Like all good musicals, a subplot intertwined itself into the performance. And so this story of betrayal has turned itself into the birthing of a romance, the reason we are all here today.
Now, our lovely Natasha was cast as Mary Magdalene, and originally a man named Thomas was cast as Judas. But as the months rolled by, it became clear that the character needed some more persona.
The producer needed a Judas who was a little more dashing. A little bit more spunk, charm, and cheek was needed. An X factor that would make the show complete.
So, just 6 weeks before the show opened, the director made the bold and ultimately fateful decision of casting our man, Ronit, as Judas.
Natasha sees this tall, big guy walking into the hall, and she found something sweet about him. But, to her own admission, she thought Ronit was maybe one of the production guys. Had come to work on the sound and lights. He had the height and the muscles to move around the sets. But little did she know the talent that lay beneath the surface.
So, Ronit, as he walks by, looks at Natasha, he smiles, she looks back, smiles right back, kinda like that. He takes the stage and starts to sing, and Natasha realized the talent that just walked through those doors. It was a voice just like hers, a voice that would change the atmosphere in the room, but more importantly, change the atmosphere in her heart.
In typical fashion, like most guys, Ronit played hard to get. He tried setting up Natasha with one of his friends, but Natasha wasn't having any of it. If you know my cousin well, she is a woman who knows what she wants, and she wasn't about to settle for anyone else.
So from singing together to writing each other poetry, which happened, this love story started to take center stage. Our Ronit one day finally gathered the courage to go up to her and ask, "What are you doing for dinner tonight?"
What are you doing for dinner tonight?
I'm going with you.
Oh.
And that was the start of the Nit Nat story. So, Natasha and Ronit wanted to share a ceremony with you that represented themselves. And their ceremony will take on now a very spiritual connection. And it's one that is something that's really close to their hearts. Being one in mind, body, and spirit is an essential part of any relationship. While Ronit and Natasha's life has been intertwined with singing, acting, and poetry, they also shared a bond in how they connected spiritually. After meeting each other, their journey of being the best person they could be had suddenly changed its form. No longer was Ronit wanting to be the best person he could be for his achievements, how he was known, or for his career. He wanted to be the best friend and now husband that Natasha could have in her life.
And so a spiritual journey began. A journey of not just discovering what the other person liked or didn't like, but to discover why and how they came to that belief. Natasha and Ronit found that the path of being the very best version of yourself is a commonality shared among a number of faiths, not just one. And so they realized that their wedding would be the perfect time to hold a celebration of the way many different faiths bring forward this message of how to be a better person and how to be a better person in marriage. And so this evening we are celebrating this diversity to bring together this common thread that runs across all faiths.
In keeping with this theme, Natasha and Ronit have asked some of their close friends and family to join us up here and to give us what their sense of marriage and love represents and how it stands up in 7 different faiths. First up, I'm glad to announce a close friend of Natasha's, Jason Vows. Jason has been studying to be a Jesuit priest and will be ordained in 2 years. I would like to invite him to come up and share from the book of the Song of Solomon from the Bible to teach about what Christianity teaches about marriage.
Good evening, everybody. This biblical passage is taken from the Song of Songs, chapter 2. My beloved spoke and said to me, "Arise, my darling, my beautiful one, come with me. See, the winter is past, the rains are over and gone. Flowers appear on the earth. The season of singing has come. The cooing of doves is heard in our land. The fig tree forms its early fruit. The blossoming vines spread their fragrance. Arise, come, my darling, my beautiful one, come with me." Changes are part of life. The biblical passage I just read to you speaks of a change of weather. It states, "The winter is past, the rains are gone, flowers appear on the earth, the fig tree bears its fruit, and the blossoming vine spreads its fragrance." Surrounded by these changes, the lover wants to be with the beloved. The lover says, "Arise, my darling, my beautiful one, come with me." Those are words filled with such love. Today, we rejoice with Natasha and Ronit because they have chosen to be together for the rest of their lives. They are saying to each other, "Arise, come, my darling, my beautiful one, come with me." Things change. We go through good times and challenging ones. We grow up, we grow old. Spring and summer change into winter and back again. Natasha and Ronit want to face life's changes together. And in a world of constant flux, we wish them a lasting togetherness. May that togetherness never turn into a feeling of being stuck or trapped. Rather, may their togetherness always be fruitful and fragrant. In other words, Natasha and Ronit, may you be happy.
That was beautiful. Next we have Simran Thapar speaking about Sikhism's wedding ceremony. She is an educationist for 36 years, is a double postgraduate in English literature and history, currently the vice principal of Dakshai Public School for the last 25 years.
The Anand Karaj, or the Sikh marriage, is thus defined by Guru Amar Das, the third Guru of the Sikhs. They are not said to be husband and wife who merely sit together. Rather, they alone are called husband and wife, who share one soul in two bodies. Thus, the partnership of marriage is given a special meaning, a new dimension, a spiritual bonding through understanding and love. The four mindful circumambulations around the Guru Granth Sahib were written by Guru Ram Das, the fourth Sikh Guru, for his own wedding. They explain the journey of the souls towards the Almighty. The Guru, through the four lamas or rounds, highlights the four golden rules of married life. The Guru's pronouncement in the first round is, commit to righteousness and tread the path of dharma. Renounce sinful actions, falsehood, and deception. Remember God and meditate on His name. Real peace is obtained through good fortune and karmas. All sins will vanish by worshipping the true Lord. With these principles on board, together you embark on the first stage of marriage. In the second round, the Guru leads you to meet the primal being, the enlightener. Fear none but the fearless one. Live in his hukam and commands, and thus ego will disappear from your minds. Sing his praises with humility and feel his presence within you both. Perpetual bliss will gather and you will be ever elated. In the second round, the divine music Anhat Shabad will resound. In the third round, the Guru avers that the partners' minds are ever filled with divine love. There is great anticipation in the minds of these cosmic travelers. Through good fortune, Sat Sangat or holy congregation is obtained. Naam will vibrate and resound within your hearts. In this state of bliss, your unique destiny will be realized as inscribed upon your foreheads. Divine love will be awakened within you. In the fourth or the final round, the Guru assures us that the Lord is found and sahaj or equanimity engulfs your minds. Tranquility swells within. God's will seems sweet. The couple in wedlock will be perfectly happy and satisfied with their lives. All your desires will be fulfilled. The souls together will blend together and experience Vaheguru. Only the everlasting and true Naam will occupy their hearts and minds. Puta Mata ki Asis, you are heartily blessed by both your father and mother. Nimik na bisro tumko har har. May you never forget the true Lord even for a moment. Sada bhajo Jagdish. Meditate perpetually on the Lord's name. I could not help quoting these lines from the Holy Guru Granth Sahib because no Sikh marriage is ever complete without their rendition. Vaheguru Ji ka Khalsa, the pure belong to God. Vaheguru Ji ki Fateh, the victory of God is therefore the victory of the pure. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Simran, and for sharing with Natasha and Ronit. Next is an acclaimed director, actor, and writer. I'd like to invite Khalil Banerjee up to the stage to speak about Hinduism to Natasha and Ronit.
Natasha, Ronit.
Give me a second.
Yeah, okay. Natasha, Ronit, friends, good evening. The Hindu marriage ceremony is full of rituals, and many of these rituals are said to be millenniums old. Of these rituals, perhaps the most important one is Sat Feras, also called the Saptapadi. The ritual without which a Hindu marriage is not considered valid involves 7 circuits around a sacrificial fire that symbolizes Lord Agnidev, the god of fire. With each circuit, the bride and the groom invoke a vow, 7 vows with 7 circuits, witnessed and blessed by Agnidev, as a man and a woman start their journey through life as husband and wife. The first vow states that the bride and the groom would provide prosperity as a household to the family and would stand against those who try to hinder it. With the second circuit, they promised that they would lead a healthy life by developing their physical, mental, and spiritual beings. The third vow says that the couple would earn a living and grow by honest and proper means so that their materialistic wealth increases manifold. As they take their fourth circuit, they vow that they would respect, love, understand each other, and would acquire knowledge, happiness, and harmony. The fifth vow declares that the couple would expand their family by having healthy, brave, and honest children for whom they will be responsible. To have self-control of the mind, body, and soul, and have a long and happy marital relationship is the sixth vow that the bride and the groom take. With the seventh and the last vow, the couple promised that they would be true and loyal to each other and would remain companions and best of friends for their lifetimes. Natasha, Ronit, the vows seem very serious, but you need not be scared. They're not meant to scare two people starting their life together, and they need not be memorized. For if you reflect on the vows, you will find that all that the vows say are sweet, simple things which people in love, couples in love, have been saying to each other through the ages. Ronit, Natasha, the only thing you need to remember is love. 2 words, love and respect. Love for each other through times of happiness and sorrow, through difficult times and times of great joy. Respect for each other, which does not mean that you may not disagree with each other, but disagree with respect, and you will be doing all the things that these vows say. Ronit, just for you, there's only one thing that you need to remember, one word: agree. Agree to whatever Natasha says for a peaceful married life. Take it from someone who has been married for 36 years and more. I'll give you an example. For instance, after dinner, you feel this tremendous craving for after 8 mint chocolates. So you go up to the refrigerator, open the door, take out 3 squares. You should not never eat 1 or 4. And as you are about to pop them into your mouth, Natasha says, Ronit, stop that. Have you looked at your profile, looked at sideways in the mirror lately? Have you seen your tummy? Don't disagree. Look contrite and say, darling, you're so right. Put those chocolates back into the refrigerator. Remember that every great general through the ages, from Julius Caesar to Alexander to Napoleon to Rommel to Montgomery, and we always had to retreat from time to time from a battle for ultimate victory. Natasha will get into the deepest layer of sleep around 2:33 in the morning. Raid the refrigerator. God bless you both.
Thank you so much for some much needed and key advice going forward. Banu Balti Boy would like to say a few words for Zoroastrianism. She's a designer of extraordinary book sculptures from Mumbai.
Good evening, everyone. The Zoroastrian wedding ceremony ends with a Tandarosti prayer for the good health and happiness of the couple. And here's a free translation of an excerpt. By the name of the Lord who is kind and bountiful, may Natasha and Ronit have a long and happy life. May health, virtue, and goodness be their share. May they be worthy of piety and splendor. May joy and pleasure, ease and plenty reach them. May the year be happy, the month auspicious, and the day propitious. May thousands of blessings be upon them. May it be so. May it be so. After this ancient benediction, I'd like to zip forward by a couple of millennia to some real-life wisdom. Susan Sarandon's character in a film talks about marriage in a way that's profound and real. When she is asked why it is that she thinks people get married, she says, because we all need a witness to our lives. There's a few billion people on the planet. What does any one life really mean? But in a marriage, you're promising to care about everything. The good things, the bad things, the terrible things, the mundane things. All of it, all of the time, every day. You're saying, your life will not go unnoticed because I will notice it. Your life will not go unwitnessed because I will be your witness. And this is what I wish for you, Ronit and Natasha, that you always find in each other love and comfort, and you can bear witness to each other's lives. Thank you.
Gaurav and I stand in the corner and take notes in between to make sure when we get married that we get all this advice thrown in for us. So thank you, everyone.
Yeah, thanks.
I have a pleasure of inviting both Pranab and Namita to the stage. They are both long-term friends of the Chaterji family, and they've been studying Buddhism for 2 decades now. They would like to share some words of wisdom with Natasha and Ron.
Hello, hello. Namyo Renge Kyo Namyo Renge Kyo Namyo Renge Kyo. This Buddhist mantra, propounded by Nichiren Daishonin, a Japanese sage from the 13th century, is to bring forth the highest state of life, which we call Buddhahood, from within all of us. The central idea of Buddhism is that each human being is a Buddha, capable of infinite wisdom, courage, compassion, and creativity. The mantra is a determination to summon up these qualities and the limitless power of revitalization that exists in each human life. And it is founded on deep and abiding respect for all life, especially the dignity of the other. A very useful idea when it comes to marriage.
For it is respect, more than any other quality, which makes for a profoundly fulfilling marriage. When two people take a vow based on respect, on trust, and belief in each other, they can help the other to bring forth this infinite potential we call Buddhahood. To clarify this, Pranab and I offer you a few thoughts compiled from the writings of Nichiren Daishonin and Daisaku Ikeda, our mentor.
The first is the Buddhist concept of one but not one, two but not two. In a two marriage, two separate entities merge, yet remain uniquely individual. Two lives come together to form a whole new third identity. Nichiren Daishonin writes, a man is like a pillar, a woman like the crossbeam. A man is like the wings of a bird, a woman like the body. If the wings and the body become separated, then how can the bird fly? And if the pillar topples, then the crossbeam will surely fall to the ground.
Ronit and Natasha, your two precious lives are intertwined inseparably now. Each of you will have to work joyfully to uphold this wonderful symbiotic connection you have formed. You will have to complement each other, giving strength and moral courage to one another. Sensei says, I quote, "A healthy relationship is one in which two people encourage each other to reach their respective goals while sharing each other's hopes and dreams." It's not always going to be fun. Much of daily life tends to be ordinary and unexciting once the chores and the routine kicks in. And at other times, it can throw up enormous like sudden illness, financial setbacks.
Sensei Ikeda writes, there are times when the burning intensity and power of the sun will be called for, and times when the soothing luminescence and serene wisdom of the moon is what will be needed. Responding to each situation with wisdom and understanding, we hope you expand each other's lives with fresh and dynamic vitality every day.
Which brings us to the second point. Sensei says, quote, "When two people are in love and their relationship makes them better people, that is a good love relationship." And Antoine de Saint-Exupéry, the writer of Little Prince, wrote, "Love is not two people gazing at each other, but two people looking ahead together in the same direction." A marriage is defined not by the mutual admiration you have when you look into each other's eyes, but by your mutual goals. And the most profound goal a human being can have is to become a better human being. Dr. Ikeda says, a relationship should be a source of inspiration, invigoration, and hope. If you genuinely love someone, then through your relationship with him or her, you can develop into a person whose love extends to all humanity. Natasha and Ronit, please build a marriage that makes each of you bloom mentally, spiritually, creatively, in your own unique way, and at the same time, create value not just in your own lives, but in the world around you, your families, your communities.
And yet, contrary to all this, and what is advised on marriage if it is not contrary, you must focus on yourself. If you want to experience real love, it is important to first sincerely develop a strong self-identity. The truth is, ideal love is fostered only between two sincere, mature, and independent people secure in their own individuality. It is essential, therefore, that you work on polishing yourself first, on building a strong inner self. Which brings us to the Buddhist idea of human revolution. Human revolution is based on the belief that any revolution, big or small, can only succeed if individual human beings transform their lives from within first. However much you may try, you can never run away from yourself. If you remain weak, suffering will only follow you wherever you go. Always put more energy into changing yourself than into trying to change the other.
So, to get back to the heart of Buddhism, Nit Nat, please unconditionally respect each other. To quote Daishonin, treating one's partner with courtesy means that although one may encounter them 10 or 20 times in the course of a single day, one greets them courteously as though they have traveled 1,000 or 10,000 miles to see one, never showing them indifference. And to end, we leave both of you with a poem written by Daisaku Ikeda to his wife. Waiting out the storm, fiercely pounds my heart. Is it leaping at the thought of the storm? No. I know it beats strongly, but only in secret. Oh, my heart has found in you a flowing river. It seeks in you a blossoming flower. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Check. Next up is Chandra Prakash Ganguly, who will be speaking on Islam. He is an industrialist and a leading businessman in the cooling technology industry, the CEO of Bell Cooling Towers, and also has the privilege of being my father.
He's responsible for your mess.
Yeah, I check.
Good evening. The weather is now cool, so I shall share a message from Islam. There is a common thread that runs through all religions and on holy texts when it comes to the marriage contract between the bride and the groom, and they're bowing to the divine to seek his blessings. In this light, I wish to share with all of you a small passage about the divine presence from Surah 4, verse 1 of the Quran. O mankind, have consciousness of your Lord, who has created you from a single soul. From it, he created your spouse, and through them, he populated the land with many men and women. Have spiritual awareness of the one by whose name you swear to settle your differences, and have respect for the womb that bore you. Without doubt, Allah keeps watch over all of you. What other example can I share with you rather than of ourselves? Your mama and mommy, we hail from different faiths, different communities, different backgrounds, but with the blessings of the Almighty, we have been together for 34 years and been able to lead our journey of life with happiness, contentment, and feel we have been able to give the right upbringing to our children, who have been able to carve their own identities in this society. It is giving respect to each other's belief, faith, and giving up ourselves to the omnipresent divine power. This is the key to happiness in life. God bless.
Next, I'd like to invite Bina Saka Elias.
She'll be speaking to Ronit and Natasha tonight on mysticism.
Lovely to see all of you here. And I want to thank Natty and Munz for trusting me with this very, very critical task of reading from Khalil Gibran. Khalil Gibran, as you know, was born in 1983. He was Lebanese, American. He was an artist, an author, and a poet, and a man after my own heart. But somehow he knew that many years hence, there'd be two people on this earth who would be meeting, performing, falling in love, and therefore he wrote this poem. I think he wrote it for them. Thoughts on Marriage from The Prophet, the book The Prophet, Khalil Gibran's. You were born together, Natty and Natty. Listen. You were born together, and together you shall be forevermore. You shall be together when the white wings of death scatter your days. Yes, you shall be together, even in the silent memory of the stars. But let there be spaces in your togetherness, and let the winds of the constellations dance between you. Love one another, but make not a bondage of love. Let it rather be a moving sea between the shores of your souls. That's beautiful. Fill each other's cup, but drink not from one cup. Give one another of your bread, but eat not from the same loaf. Sing and dance together and be joyous, but each one of you be alone. That's great. Even as the strings of a lute are alone, though they quiver with the same music. Give your hearts, but not in each other's keeping, for only the hand of life can contain your hearts. And stand together, yet not too near together. For the pillars of the temple stand apart, and the oak tree and the cypress grow not in each other's shadows. That is, he knew you way back then. He knew you. So the request from them was that I have something to say also. And I'm a kind of a minimalist, so I didn't do anything for a long time. And this morning, when I woke up, this came to me. A little haiku came to me this very morning. This is for my dearest Natasha and Muns, Natty and Muns. Wedded in the skies, they arrived on earth with wings of eternal love. With this, I have this amazing task, this very, very important task. Do I do it now? No? Oh, okay. I knew I'd goof up somewhere.
Mic check. So, Natasha and Ronit have written their own vows. And I'd like to invite the bride and the groom to come and speak their vows to each other.
Do you go first? Do I go first?
Do I go first? Do you go first? This sounds like a dialogue from the Star Wars film. I have no vows to give because you and I know each other like two jigsaw puzzles are meant to be fitting. My strength and my weakness is your weakness and my strength. I have no vows to give because you, in meeting me, have already known the person that I can be. The only vow I can give is to myself, to reach that level of person, spiritually, physically, mentally, to become that person that you saw me as, that you have seen me as, and that you still continue to see me as I stand in front of you. And so the vow I make to myself is, after we celebrate our 80th wedding anniversary, with all the guests here present, our great-grandchildren will look up to us and say, this is the couple that I want to be when I get married.
Ronit, my best friend, today in the presence of our families and closest friends, I promise to respect and love you for the individual that you are and will grow to be. I promise not just to grow old together, but to grow together. I will laugh with you in your times of joy and comfort you in your times of sorrow. Together, let us build a home with love and laughter, music and poetry, learning and light, always remembering our Creator and placing all our blessings at His table.
Do you take each other to be husband and wife? And promise to be true in good times and in bad, in sickness and in health, and to love and honor each other all the days of your lives?
We do. Do you pledge to recognize each other's individuality and celebrate each other's uniqueness as a strength in marriage, while at the same time will you guard one another's weakness with understanding, support, and inspiration?
We do.
Do you vow to aspire to knowledge, happiness, and harmony through mutual love and trust, and to encourage in each other spiritual fulfillment through all the changes in your lives?
We do.
Do you take each other to be none other than yourselves, loving what you know of each other, trusting what you do not yet know, but offering yourselves nonetheless with all your faults and strengths?
We do.
Do you together make a pledge towards seeking a greater truth, towards cultivating compassion, generosity, patience, and wisdom, and transforming all obstacles in life into the path of love, joy, and equanimity.
We do.
Ronit and Natasha, do you pledge to share your lives openly with each other, to always speak the truth with love, to give space where it is needed, and yet be ever present and ever supportive?
We do.
Then, amidst the presence of the faiths that we represent, and with the blessings of all your friends and family gathered here, it is our pleasure to declare you as husband and wife. Sorry. You may exchange your rings and with it intertwine your destinies. May the best of fortune, love, and prosperity ever be yours. Have a luminous life.
Louder applause. I'm putting the ring on.
Make sure it's the right finger.
Last chance, Daddy.
That's it, no turning back.
Oh no. All
You're not
good
married
things.
yet,
I'm
huh?
not married yet.
We don't want you in the frame.
There are only 8 readers on stage, but because we wanted everybody to involve, this is where you in 3, 2, 1 get to say, you may now kiss the bride in 3, 2, 1.
You may now kiss the bride!
I think that's all my newly wedded wife will permit me to do for the evening.
True Indian style.
Okay guys, we're gonna actually take a short break right now as pictures get taken of Natasha and Ronit, but I would appreciate if no one moves anywhere. What we're gonna do is we're gonna go straight into the toast right now because we have a beautiful view and we have some really nice weather. So if you can grab your seats, we're gonna get wine to glasses to come around to you. Please don't drink it until we toast. I know it's quite hot. I know everyone can't wait to celebrate the kiss. But I think it would be cool if everyone could just hold their glasses for a second and we'll pick up. Okay? Thanks. Okay, guys, we just have 2 toasts to go, so just hold on to those wine glasses for that. But Gaurav and I decided to change the flow of the events because we know Ronit likes everything to go in sequential order. So we actually just had some words from ourselves that we wanted to share. First of all, I'm Natasha's cousin and Gaurav is Ronit's cousin. And for all of you who don't know, I'm from Australia. I've been in Mumbai for the last 8 years. And there's just been many times where Natasha's been a sister to me. Whether she's come and cooked food, or we've just given a hug, or had some really down-to-earth conversations about life. Natasha, you look beautiful today. I got to sneak upstairs and watch before you walked in. And I think one of the things that stands out to me at a wedding is when a bride walks in and you carried yourself with grace, and you carried yourself just so prepared like you always are for things in life. Congratulations to you guys. On behalf of Gaurav and myself, we just want to thank you that we could be the MCs tonight. For all of you who don't know, about a week ago, we received what looked like a script. They told us what the mood should be before they walk in. They told us when the sound should be cued and when the mics move and when people should laugh at our responses. I hope we lived up to the very high benchmark. I don't know.
There was one portion which literally said the MCs will then charm the audience with their wit, humor, and good looks.
Good job, guys. You did everything but the good looks.
And yes, that was, Shan said most of everything that I want to say, but just the fact that we are here today, like, we don't need a wedding ceremony to sort of have a marriage, but why do we do it? We do it because irrespective of where we come from, irrespective of what faith you come from, love is kind of the one thing that we're doing right. You know, that's the one thing that we all share, no matter where we come from, and that's why we're here today. So without further ado,
We're not toasting yet. We're not toasting yet. Keep going.
Just to be clear, this was not the speech. We first have Chaterji, who would like to say a few words. Chaterji is a very, very close friend of Natasha and has known her for the last 13 to 14 years. He has his own sweet business in Cholapur and runs a massive mithai company. So if any of you are craving the sweets, you know who to get in touch with.
Hello everyone. Hello. Natasha, you're looking beautiful. And Ronit.
Just when he says Ronit, the mic. What is going on?
I told you should have won the gown.
I swear.
Listen to this very carefully. From this day onwards, it really doesn't matter how good you look. She's got to look good all the time.
So well said.
Hello everyone, I'm Dheeraj and Natasha is my closest friend. Natasha, thank you for making me a part of your family. Natasha and I had a chance meeting 13 years ago. Back when one was really young, certainly foolish, extremely trusting. That day you introduced me to jazz. Destiny introduced me to the closest friend I was to have. There was a girl, all of 18, studying by the day, singing in the evening, and mastering French at the same time. I thought to myself, from where did she get so much of energy? Only to realize later that you are the source of energy. In the span of life, you have transformed into a person with a heart of gold, pure in soul, cheerful, vivacious, and full of life. Over a cup of coffee, we spoke our heart out to each other, and we totally trusted in destiny that laid the foundation of our special bond. You opened my mind to limitless possibilities and helped me to understand the true meaning of life. When you started with Jesus Christ Superstar, a role that made you the leading lady of Ronit's life, things actually fell into place. Ronit, Lady Luck has certainly bestowed her best upon you. I know how much Natasha loves you. When she couldn't help blushing and smiling every time she told me about you, that's when I knew she had found her man. Ronit, you're a prolific writer and never at loss of words. But so were many men, and many are still sitting here, including me. It was all until the day you get married.
Now it's just blank face.
And one of those days when you have to bear Natasha's brunt, I have a little piece of advice for you. Silence is golden when you cannot think of a good answer. Much of Natasha's strength comes from her upbringing and values imbibed from her mother, our very own lady from Mahim, Mariola. On a lighter note, Natasha, now that's when we know where you got those moves from. To conclude, thank you, Natasha, for being that family when I was away from mine. And I only wish Ronit and you only the best. Thank you. To now invite Rohan, Ronit's closest friend.
Tell you certain things, don't believe anything. Nothing.
I don't know where that came from.
So we need to believe in everything what you say.
Thank you, thank you. Okay, so good evening, everybody. It's a wonderful evening. And for those of you who don't know me, I'm the bride, Ronit Chaterji's closest friend. Sorry? Did I say bride? Sorry, I got confused on who wears the pants. I'm sorry. Really sorry. Let's start this again. Let's start this again. Good evening, everybody. My name is Rohan, and I'm best friends with the groom, Ronit Chaterji. We've known each other now for 19 years. Who knows, exactly. So I'm going to start my speech by thanking Ronit and Natasha for letting me be here, letting me part of your beautiful, beautiful evening. It's an absolute honor. And I was very thrilled when you asked me to be here. I was not expecting it at all. I know Arjun was in competition, so thanks for choosing. I'm just kidding. But thank you. I mean, it's a great honor to be here, and you guys look wonderful. So congratulations, and big round of applause for our couple, please. Especially Natty. Natty, you look beautiful. So, for those of you who know Natty or who are getting to, you're going to get to know Natty better, you all will agree with me that Natty is the most warm, wonderful, caring person. And Natty deserves the most warm, kind, gentle-hearted, loving person to share the rest of her life with. So next, I'd like to thank God that Ronit convinced Natty to marry him before she actually found that person. Otherwise, we would not be here and having this ceremony. So thank you, God, that Ronit actually managed to convince Natty. Otherwise, No, to be serious and to keep it short, Natty, when he asked me to do the speech, like all people from our age, when we are faced with a very challenging problem, I turned to the best source for trusted advice, which was YouTube. And YouTube told me that you should come and say a lot of good things about the groom. And I had my list prepared. And last night, Ronit added about 10-15 things to it. But I'm going to keep it short because, honestly, I can't lie to you on your wedding day. It's great. So, Natty, there's a good chance he's going to occupy the bathroom for 2 hours every morning, gelling his moustache. There's a very good chance you guys will go bankrupt every time PlayStation promotes a new console. There's a very good chance the kids are going to be fed thumbs up and magic masala when you're away. Especially when Uncle Rohan is in town. But Natty, when you're home tired, at your lowest moment, in your darkest hour, he's going to be there for you. He's going to be there with you, and he's going to love you. There comes a moment in people's lives when you meet that one true friend, that person who's going to care for you, love you. In Ronit's life, that happened 19 years ago when he met me. Or so we used to think. But Natty, no, it happened, as Dheeraj said, when you guys started doing Jesus Christ Superstar. And he came back and he told me, dude, I met this girl. And he was smiling, and all 32 were showing, as we say in Bengali. You make him happy, Natty. And I wish that both of you stay exactly like this. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, can we all raise our glasses? Woo! Ronit and Natasha, may the lamp of your love shine brightest in the darkest hour. May it never flicker in the winds of trial. May the roof over your head never fall in, and both of you never fall out of love. Natty and Fatty, Ronit and Natasha. Ronit and Natasha, congratulations. Cheers.
Salute, everyone!
Thank you, I'm done.
Now, I gave...
Somebody said tell them more.
I gave our two MCs a detailed way to finish the evening, but this is when I'm going to say thank you to Shannon and Gaurav. Can we have a round of applause for them? Ladies, they're single. Oh my God. Not anymore after tonight. This is when you keep standing and you follow the bride and the groom to the dance floor, where we are going to make our very first wedding dance, which will be interesting because I can't dance.